Good day, Mom. Good day, everyone. And we're going to report the Visayas region is the home to diverse indigenous people, including Hiligaynon, Suludnon, and Cuyunon, each with the rich cultural tradition, unique language, and variant history that continue to shape the heart of the Philippines. And we're going to proceed. I'm going to tell the reporters, me, MJ Masalos, Jetro Balaga, and Robert Pinton, Jesus Gundaya, and Gillard Viselli. First, the Hiligaynon people, or Ilongus, in the ethnologistic group primarily residing in the western Visayas, including Iloilo, Negros Occidental, Capiz, Guimaras, as well as some part of the Mindanao. Their history date back to the pre-colonial times with a cultural influence with the ancient Visayan and Malay civilization. And Spanish colonization played a major role shaping their tradition like and also languages and way of life, especially in Iloilo, which which was known as the Queen of the South. This ay Queen, panay, Queen City of the South. Muna lang kwan, ang Iloilo. As I said, the Hiligaynon, also called Ilonggo, is the primary language spoken along with Filipino and English. This region economy thrives in agriculture, particularly in rice and sugarcane farming, as well as fishing. So makita man ninyo no sa next slide karon. Explain more the reporters. They also the handcraft and the trade. This industry play a crucial role in sustaining the livelihood of the Hiligaynon people to preserve their cultural heritage. And the next reporter will explain more the economy tribes of this tribe of Hiligaynon or Elongo. Next reporter is Chitro Balaga.
Good day, everyone. Today I will be discussing the indigenous crafts of the Hiligaynon people and their cultural significance. So first, we have hablon weaving. Hablon is a traditional textile made from natural fibers like abaca, cotton, and piña. This fabric is commonly worn during special occasions, symbolizing the identity and the pride of the Ilonggos. Its colorful pattern reflect local traditions and historical influences that have been passed down through generations. So second, we have bolo making. The bolo is handcrafted blade originally used for farming and rituals during the colonial times. It also became a symbolize of the resistance as it was used in uprising against foreign rule. The craftsmanship of the bowl making has been preserved and handed down through generations, continuing to serve both practical and cultural purposes. So, lastly, we have pottery. These pots are traditionally used for cooking and water storage. Beyond their practical use, they hold spiritual significance in ancestral worship. Skilled artisans in Iloilo practice this craft using traditional techniques, ensuring that this important culture heritage remains alive today. So, these indigenous crafts not only showcase their creativity and resourcefulness of the Hiligaynon people, but also serve as a reminder of their rich cultural history. Thank you.
The demographic profile of a Suludnon people. So today we're learning about the Suludnon people, also known as the Panay Bukidnon, who live in the mountainous areas of central Panay. Specifically, they are found in the province of Iloilo and Antique. These areas are mostly rural and mountainous, which is why the Suludnon have managed to preserve a lot of their traditional ways of life. Now, let's talk a bit about their history. The Suludnon have a really interesting past. During the time of Spanish colonization, many indigenous groups were forced to change their ways, but the Suludnon resisted the Spanish. Because of this resistance, they managed to keep their unique culture intact. For example, they practice ancient traditions like the Binanag dance, which is a very expressive dance that imitates the movements of the hawk. They also continue to chant the Sigidanon epics, which are long narrative stories passed down through generations. When it comes to their language, the Suludon speak is several dialects. They primarily speak Kinaraya and Hiligaynon, which are common in the region, but they also have their own special Suludon dialect. This is a language that's unique to their community, showing just how distinct they are. In terms of their economic activities, the Suludon still rely on traditional methods. They practice slash and burn farming, which is a way of clearing land for agriculture. They engage in weaving, which is a skilled craft that they pass down through generations. They hunt and gather food from the forest and use herbal medicine for healing, which is a part of their deep knowledge of the natural world. So, in the summary, the Saloon people are a resilient group who live in the mountains of Panay, have preserved their traditions and language, and continue to practice their ancient ways of life in farming, weaving, and healing.
So, in Suludnon Crafts, their designs is gonna tell siya og mga stories, mga preserve siya og mga history, even though ga-express po siya sa mga community value. So, ilang design is more on patterns, are also called geometric designs bitaw. So, or ga-represent siya as elements such as mga nature, such as mga plants, animals, and other type of environmental features. So makita nato ang ilang design is more on geometric jud siya. So in the picture provided, makita nato is more on plants gid siya and geometric. Even though silang mga blouses nga ginagamit, dato makita nga ang ilang design is more on pattern. So next we have binanog dance accessories. So mo ni sila traditional dance, ga-inspire sa mga movements of binanog. So ilang gigamit nga mga craft is mga hablon is ginatawag nato og mga handwoven. Even though gamit pud sila mga pangasi. Ang pangasi is headdresses nga nato makita nato sa picture nato nga gi-provide nato. So and ila pong musical instrument. So next. Uh, so next is ang bamboo musical instrument. So ang bamboo musical instrument is mo sila mga instrument nga mga traditional music for centuries. Ang ilang pasabot is for for storytelling, and even though sa binanog dance mo gigamit nila sa instrument. So na sila mga pipila ka mga instrumento, so which is ang pinaka oldest gid is ang flute, ang pinaka oldest nga instrument nga ginagamit sa Suludnon. So Joe harp. Ang Joe harp is ginatawag nila og as kubing. Ang kubing is ang pinaka ano siya traditional Joe harp in the Philippines. So mo na ginagamit pod within the courtship sa mga courtship bitaw. So mo ni sila yung mga instrumento nga ginagamit sa Suludnon crops.
Cuyunon. The Cuyunon is also called Cuyunin, located in Palawan, especially in the Cuyu Island and the northern and central parts of the province in Palawan. So they were among the first people in Palawan, are known for the sea culture and rich maritime culture and tradition that bind indigenous costume which Spanish influences. So before they were the main cultural group in Palawan, they were once dominant culture group in Palawan. Before main migration from other provinces diversified the island demographic. Uh, so they speak Cuyunon language, Tagalog, and English. Their main jobs are fishing, making boats, producing salt, and diving for pearls.
Good day, everyone. I'll be presenting Cuyunon crafts, focusing on badyang clay pots. So let's start. These are handmade earthenware pots traditionally used by the Cuyunon people for cooking and storing food. What makes them unique is the way they are carefully molded and fired using traditional techniques that have been practiced for many generations. Aside from their practical use in everyday life, Badyang clay pots also hold spiritual cultural importance. They are often used in rituals and ceremonies, serving as vessels for offering or for preparing special food meant for the ancestral traditions. These pots are more than just kitchenware. They represent heritage and continuity. The knowledge of making them is usually passed down through generations, making each pot a reflection of the community's identity and craftsmanship. As you can see in the images, their simple yet functional design highlights how indigenous art is deeply rooted in both functionality and tradition. Thank you.
One of the craftsmanship of a Cuyunon people, it called Paro boot, is not just a simple tool for fishing or trade. It's a key part of Palawan's cultural identity, used for generations by the Cuyunon people, and it represents their maritime heritage and a remarkable boat making skills. These boats were designed to navigate the waters around the island, helping people with both their livelihoods and local trade. So the paro is a symbol of how the people of Palawan have historically relied on the sea for sustainable and survival, making an important part of their history and traditions. So the paro boat is a traditionally made using locally sourced materials like wood, often from nipa palm or coconut trees, bamboo, and cloth. For their sails, the boat's frame is carefully crafted by shaping and joining wooden planks to create a hollowed out hull that is both light and stable in the water. The boat, the boat features a tall wooden mast with sails made from woven cloth and typically includes two outriggers for added stability. Once the frame and hull are constructed, the boat is sanded, painted, and sometimes decorated to protect the wood from seawater and also enhance its appearance. This meticulous craftsmanship reflects the Cuyunon people's deep knowledge and skills it passed down through the generations. And that's all. Thank you for listening.
Good day, everyone. I'll be presenting about Cuyunon crafts, focusing on the Tagbanwa carvings. So, let's start. These carvings are traditional wooden sculpture made by the Tagbanwa people, one of the indigenous groups from Palawan. What makes these pieces special is that they are inspired by ancestral spirits, giving them deep cultural and spiritual meaning. They are not just decoration or art pieces, these carvings are used in rituals and storytelling, often passed down through generations. In their culture, they are believed to connect the community with their ancestors and the spirit world. Aside from spiritual function, these carvings are also a form of artistic expression, as seen in the images photos. The intricate patterns and human-like figures reflect the craftsmanship and creativity of the Tagbanwa people. Overall, Tagbanwa carvings are a great example of how indigenous art preserve both tradition and identity, serving as a bridge between the past and present. Thank you.
And that's all to our report. Thank you. Presenter MG Magsalos, Richard J. Balaga, Jesus Gandaya, J. Lord Vasili, and Robert Pinton. Thank you.